California Showdown of 2021 event by Colton Dennis. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting edition of wrestling here at California Showdown. We only have one match here. Tonight, the U.S. Continental Championship will be defended. Rhino the challenger will face off against the U.S. Continental Champion, Taboo, said announce number 1. Yes, he will. And it is gonna be a ladder match. How exciting, said announcer number 2. It really is. And let's get ready for the ladder match, said announcer number 1. Bell dings. This match is scheduled for one fall, is a ladder match, and is for the U.S. Continental Championship. Introducing the challenger, Rhino, and his opponent, he is the U.S. Continental Champion, Taboo, said announce number 3. Bell dings. Both Rhino and Taboo are looking at each other. Huh, you want that title? You need to go through me first, pal. Taboo slaps Rhino. Do you hear me? You need to go through, said Taboo, being picked up, then continuously rammed into the corner. Well, Rhino sure didn't appreciate the slap, said announce number 2. No one likes being slapped, said announcer number 1. Well, Rhino's really taking it to the champion, said announce number 2. Well, I don't mean to insult Rhino, but he's kind of a hothead, said announcer number 1. Taboo gets bounced off the ropes. Rhino does a back body drop onto Taboo. Taboo lands onto the mat, then groans loudly. Rhino goes through the middle ropes, then looks around. He's looking for a ladder now, said announcer number 2. Rhino grabs a ladder, then slides it into the ring. Taboo stands up, then dropkicks the ladder into Rhino. Rhino falls backwards into the barricade. Oh, and what a dropkick by Taboo, said announcer number 1. Taboo stands up, picks up the ladder, then sets it up in the middle of the ring. That's mine, said Taboo, starting to climb up the ladder. Rhino slides into the ring, then starts climbing up on the other side of the ladder. Both Rhino and Taboo appear on top of the ladder. Rhino punches Taboo a few times, then reaches for the title. Taboo punches Rhino a few times, then reaches for the title. Rhino elbows Taboo. Taboo groans, gets elbowed again, then falls off the ladder. Rhino tries to reach for the title. Taboo stands up, grabs the ladder, then pushes it over. Rhino gets hung up onto the top rope. What a great move by Taboo, knowing to push the ladder over, said announcer number 2. Taboo looking up at the title, then stands up. Rhino shoulder blocks Taboo. Taboo goes through the middle ropes. Rhino leaning against the ropes, turns around, then walks towards the ladder. The ladder is being set back up in the middle of the ring. Rhino slowly starts climbing the ladder. Taboo slides another ladder into the ring, picks it up, then throws it. The second ladder hits Rhino. Rhino falls off the ladder, then groans. Do you think you're gonna take my title? This is mine, not yours, said Taboo. Rhino slowly stands up, then turns around. Taboo drop kicks Rhino. Rhino falls through the middle ropes. Taboo grabs the second ladder, then throws it onto Rhino. Rhino groans. Wow, I didn't think Taboo would have a defense against Rhino coming into this match, but so far, he's doing a good job, said announcer number 2. And that's one thing Taboo has learned here. You need to train better and work harder, said announcer number 1. Taboo sets up the ladder in the middle of the ring, then starts climbing up it. Taboo might have the title here, said announcer number 2. Taboo gets to the top of the ladder, then reaches for the title. Rhino slides into the ring, then grabs the ladder. The ladder starts shaking. Taboo looks down at Rhino, then shakes his head. Rhino pushes the ladder. Taboo falls off the ladder. Rhino catches Taboo onto his right shoulder, then does a running power slam. "Oh, what strength by Rhino," said announce number 1. "You know, that's one thing I like about him. He's strong and also has agility for a big man," said announcer number 2. Rhino picks up Taboo, then throws him through the middle ropes. "That's how you win a match. You throw your opponent outside, then climb the ladder," said announce number 1. "Yeah, but Rhino's coming outside of the ring. That's not a really smart move, don't you think?" asked announcer number 2. "Actually, it ain't, but sometimes it could be a good thing. Just so you know that your opponent will be staying down," said announcer number 1. Rhino kicking Taboo a few times, looks up, then grabs a third ladder. Crowd cheering. Rhino holding the ladder, turns around, then raises it over his head. Taboo low blows Rhino. Rhino groans, drops the ladder, then falls onto the floor. Taboo grabs the ladder, then lays it between the barricade and the ring. "What is Taboo thinking here?" asked announcer number 2. "I don't know, but whatever it is, can't be good," said announcer number 1. Taboo grabs Rhino, punches him, lifts him up, then places him onto the ladder. "You stupid son of a bitch," said Taboo continuously, punching Rhino. Rhino continuously groaning. Taboo climbing onto the ledge of the ring, then onto the second rope. Rhino quickly stands up, punches Taboo, then looks at the bridged ladder. "That." Crowd cheering. "Throw him through that," asked Rhino. The crowd cheers louder. Rhino smiles. Taboo pokes Rhino in his eye. Rhino groaning. Taboo continuously kicks Rhino's head. Rhino falls back onto the ladder. Taboo climbs to the top turnbuckle, smiles, jumps off, then does a frog splash onto Rhino. Both Rhino and Taboo go through the bridged ladder. "Oh my God, did you just see that?" asked announcer number 2. "I did. I can't believe Taboo just jumped from the top rope onto Rhino, then crashed through that ladder," said announcer number 1. Taboo slowly crawling, grabs the barricade, then slowly stands up. Rhino appears laying still. Taboo smiles, looks at the title, starts to walk. Stops, then looks at the announce table. "What in the world is he looking at?" asked announcer number 2. "I don't know," said announcer number 1. Taboo knocks everything off the announce table, then smiles. "Whatever he's thinking, it's dangerous," said announcer number 2. "You definitely can tell that," said announcer number 1. Taboo sets up a fourth ladder next to the announce table, then smiles. "He's done after this match," said Taboo laughing, then starts walking towards Rhino. Rhino slowly stands up, then runs at Taboo. Both Rhino and Taboo go through the bell area barricade. Crowd cheering. "Oh my God, Rhino just speared Taboo through the barricade," said announcer number 1. "That is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Besides what Taboo did earlier," said announcer number 2. Rhino slowly stands up, leans against the announce table, then looks up at the ladder next to it. "What is Rhino looking at now?" asked announcer number 1. "I have no idea, but it's the same look that Taboo had," said announcer number 2. "Move, now," said Rhino. Both announcer number 1 and announcer number 2 are moving out of the way. Rhino picks up Taboo, then lays him onto the announce table. Taboo laying still. Rhino climbs up the ladder next to the announce table, gets to the top of it, then holds up his hands. Crowd cheering. Rhino looks down at Taboo, smiles, jumps off of the ladder, then does a leg drop onto him. Both Rhino and Taboo go through the announce table. The crowd is cheering louder. I can't believe Rhino just did his leg drop from the ladder onto our announce table, said announcer number 1. Yeah, but how much of that did it take out of both Rhino and Taboo? Asked announcer number 2. We're about to find out. Because Rhino's starting to move, said announcer number 1. Rhino crawling towards the ring, stands up, leans against it, then looks up at the title. Taboo slowly moving, then starts crawling towards the ring. Rhino slides into the ring, slowly stands up, then grabs the ladder. The ladder is being set up in the middle of the ring. Rhino slowly climbs up the ladder. Taboo slides into the ring, stands up, picks up a steel chair, then swings it. The steel chair hits Rhino's back. Rhino groans, then falls off the ladder. Taboo raises the steel chair. Rhino slowly stands up, turns around, then gets hit in his head with the steel chair. Taboo falls into the middle rope, then drops the steel chair. Well, Rhino could be out after that, said announcer number 2. Anyone would be out after that chair shot, said announcer number 1. Taboo stands up, walks towards the ladder, grabs it, looks up at the title, smiles, then slowly climbs up it. Well, looks like Taboo will be retaining his championship, said announcer number 2. Looks that way, but you need to give it to Rhino. He put up a hell of a fight, said announcer number 1. That he did. And Taboo is about to reach the top of the ladder, said announcer number 2. Taboo gets to the top of the ladder, grabs the title, then smiles. I win, said Taboo. You need to unhook it. Taboo, said announcer number 1. The ladder starts shaking. Taboo looks down, then sees Rhino shaking the ladder. Taboo shakes his head. No, 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 said Taboo. Rhino lifts the ladder. Taboo falls off the ladder, gets hung up onto the top rope by his stomach, then falls outside of the ring. Rhino sets up the ladder, looks up at the title, then climbs up it. Oh, Rhino is almost to the top. We're gonna have a new champion, said announcer number 2. Rhino still needs to unhook the title though, said announcer number 1. Rhino gets to the top of the ladder, then looks down at Taboo. Taboo laying still on the floor. Rhino looks up at the title, grabs it, then unhooks it. Bell dings. Here's your winner. And the new US Continental Champion? Rhino, said announcer number 3. Rhino looks at the title, smiles, then raises it into the air. Crowd cheering. Rhino slowly climbs down the ladder. Well, congratulations to our new US Continental Champion, Rhino, said announcer number 1. He definitely deserves this, said announcer number 2. Both announcer number 1 and announcer number 2 are clapping. Rhino holding up the title. Taboo looks up, then sees Rhino holding the title. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining us here. And until next time, be safe out there. Good night, said announcer number 1. Bye, said announcer number 2 waving. Rhino continues celebrating. The crowd continues cheering loudly. The end.